In other news, it is Lando Norris's birthday. He turns 24 today. I mean, if you'd like to.
Happy birthday to you. Just me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lando. Happy birthday to you.
That was really lovely.
Thanks very much.
Really, really lovely.
I think he'll appreciate it.
I think he will. Let's send that to him. Slide in the DM. I think we need to discuss how brilliant he's been this season. I think obviously McLaren got off to a rocky start. Boy, did they turn it around. And him and Piastri have both been incredible, but I still think Lando shows that he is still that more dominant driver. And I really feel like he probably should have had a P1 at some point this season.
I agree. And I think that, to be honest, I think Oscar's had a brilliant season. First of all, I think as a rookie year,
I think we forget he's a rookie. Actually,
exactly, because that's probably the biggest compliment we can pay him, and I think he's had an incredible year. But Lando has just shown himself to be a class act, and honestly, I think that if there is serious question marks over Checo next year, he's probably the main contender you look at the minute. Now that Ricciardo's obviously been confirmed straight away in AlphaTauri. But I think that he's severely underrated, and he's definitely got a world championship material there.
Yeah, I think he's I totally agree. Very special. I like a stat. In the last 3 races, Lando Norris has scored 59 points.
Which is brilliant.
And Oscar Piastri scored 4. Well, it doesn't tell the whole story because Oscar Piastri's been a bit unlucky. But that does show, I think, that there's a 1-2.
Really. Yeah, I think so, and I think there was some questions over if always, is Oscar pushing Lando for that number 1 spot? But I think it's still very clear that Lando is absolutely brilliant. I mean, he's had 7 podiums this year.
And
that
he's
takes
driven
him
for half the season, really.
Yeah.
You think about it. It's only
7 podiums. That's a total of 13 in F1. And I think we say it kind of week in, week out that I think he'd be a perfect fit with Max at Red Bull. Not to toot my own team's horn, but I think they'd be a great partnership. Obviously, they've got that friendship as well. It'd be good competition for Max. And as much as I absolutely love Max and love seeing him win, I think I would like to also see a bit more fight at the top of the table. I just want to see proper racing, and it'd be interesting to see how Max coped if he had someone that is also pushing him for that number 1 spot as well within a team.
And the other interesting thing as well is like when Lando started dominating Daniel, he always just gets on with his business in a certain way, and I think that will be quite surprising for Max. Again, I think Max can deal with anything right now, and he's proven that. But it would be a very different way to the way that, I think under media scrutiny and stuff like that, he's behaved very, very well in the past. And so he would just quietly go about his business, and we'll definitely see some competition. Whether he could beat Max, that's another question, but it'll definitely be close.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's none of us think he's going to stay loyal to McLaren.
I think if the
deep sigh from both of you says no.
When Checo goes at the end of next season, assuming if they don't offer him another contract, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't think they will offer him another contract, and that seat becomes available, I think it would be so hard for Lando to, particularly assuming that maybe he still doesn't win anything next season, and we know how good he is, a race I mean, it'd be so hard to turn down that car. So hard to turn down.
And at 25 years old, he knows that, even if McLaren come along and offer him a stonking amount of money, that he's in a position where he's 25, and even if he goes to Red Bull and it goes badly, he's still going to be such hot property on the driver market that he will be able to command ridiculous money when he's 30. He doesn't need to worry about that now.
It is the most cursed seat in Red Bull. The number
That's
2
seat.
The cursed seat in F1 is driving with Max.
Well, it needs a competent driver, and not saying that Checo isn't, but it needs someone that is probably young and hungry and also wants to fight at that same level. And I think he is not at the level of Max, but he is someone that definitely has the potential to challenge Max.
And Red Bull have probably learned their lesson by putting the other young drivers that they have in a bit too early, and they've let Lando mature and take the pressure of being a number 1, take the pressure of having to develop a team around him. So that puts him in a much better place than Gasly and Albon were.
So